All right, today we are going on an absolutely wild journey. We're diving deep, deep inside your own cells to see how one of the most important things for life itself gets made, a protein. It's a fantastic story about blueprints, messengers, and tiny, tiny machines.
But let me start with a question for you. What do you think connects the fibers in your muscles to the antibodies that fight off sickness in your immune system? On the surface, they seem completely different, right?
Well, the answer is proteins. That's it. They are these incredible little microscopic machines that do pretty much all the heavy lifting inside you. They are the builders, they're the messengers, the defenders, the whole shebang. And today we're going to see exactly how they're built from scratch.
Okay, so our story kicks off in the most secure, most protected place in the entire cell. You can think of it as the command center for everything.
This is the nucleus, and really, you should think of it like a high-security vault, because inside here, the cell keeps its most valuable possession, the master blueprint for every single thing it will ever need to do or build.
And the specific instruction for building just one of those proteins? Well, that's called a gene. A gene is just a section of DNA, like a chapter in a giant instruction book, that has the perfect recipe for one specific protein. You want to build a muscle fiber? There's a gene for that. Need an antibody? Yep, there's a gene for that too.
All these instructions are written in that famous molecule, DNA, with its double helix shape. Now, this master blueprint is so critical that the DNA itself is never, ever allowed to leave the safety of the nucleus, which, if you think about it, creates a bit of a problem. So, if the blueprint is locked away in the vault, how does the factory on the outside get the instructions it needs to actually start building things?
This is the big challenge, right? The factories that build proteins are all out in the main part of the cell, but the plans are locked up tight inside the nucleus. The cell needs a way to get a copy of the plans to the workers without ever risking the original, priceless document.
And cells have an absolutely brilliant solution. It's a special molecule called messenger RNA, or just mRNA for short. You can think of mRNA as a trusted courier. Its whole job is to make a temporary, disposable copy of one single gene from the master blueprint. So here's how it works. Inside the nucleus, the cell finds the exact gene it needs. It then makes a quick copy of that gene. That copy is our mRNA molecule. And unlike the huge DNA molecule, this mRNA copy is small, it's nimble, and it has an all-access pass to leave the nucleus and head out into the main body of the cell, which is called the cytoplasm.
So, our messenger has its instructions. It's leaving the command center, and now it's headed for the cell's bustling, noisy workshop. So our little mRNA molecule is now floating in the cytoplasm. This is the factory floor. This is where all the action happens, and it's time to meet the incredible machinery that works here.
And this guy right here is the star of the factory floor. It's called a ribosome. A ribosome is basically a protein-building machine. That's its only job. It's an assembly line worker, just waiting for a new set of instructions to arrive.
So as soon as that mRNA molecule shows up, it latches onto one of these ribosomes, and the ribosome immediately gets to work, moving along the mRNA strand and reading the instructions it's carrying. The best way to picture this is like an old-fashioned ticker tape being fed through a reading machine. The ribosome just chugs along, reading the sequence of letters on the mRNA tape bit by bit.
Okay, so the ribosome is reading the code. Great, but what is it actually building? Well, this is the final and frankly the most amazing part of the whole process, turning a written code into a real physical thing. As the ribosome reads the code on the mRNA, it does something incredible. For every three-letter word it reads, it grabs a very specific molecule that's just floating nearby. These molecules are called amino acids, and amino acids are the fundamental building blocks of all proteins. The ribosome then links these amino acids together, one after another, building a long chain.
And this is the most important part of the entire story. The order of the letters on the mRNA message dictates the exact order of amino acids in that growing protein chain. It's a direct translation. If the code says GGC, the ribosome grabs one type of amino acid. If it says UCG, it grabs a totally different one. This is the secret to life itself.
And just like that, we've gone from a silent code locked away in a vault to a brand new functioning protein. Let's just do a quick recap of that incredible journey.
It's so elegant when you see it all together. You've got the permanent DNA blueprint safe in the nucleus. Then a temporary mRNA messenger makes a copy and takes it out to the factory floor. There, the ribosome machine reads the message, and finally, the amino acid building blocks are assembled into the finished protein.
Ultimately, it all comes down to this one simple rule. The original order of letters in the DNA gene is the final say. That sequence determines everything that follows, from code to copy to creation.